Welcome to another episode of Iglesias Automotive. Porsche says they're killing the manual because of emissions. That's not the real reason. And what I found is worse than you think. This is the sound of something dying. The Porsche manual transmission, the last holy grail of analog driving, is on death row. And Porsche knows it. They just won't say it out loud. Publicly, they blame emissions, regulators, Europe, the usual boogeymen. That's a lie. The real reason is worse. It's more cynical, and it tells you everything about where the entire car industry is heading, whether you drive a 911 or a Civic. I'm going to show you the numbers Porsche doesn't want in the headlines. Let's go. 1963, Stuttgart. Porsche builds the first 911. 4 seats, flat 6, air-cooled, and a 5-speed manual bolted behind it. For the next 40 years, if you wanted a 911, you rode your own gears. That wasn't a feature, that was the car. By the 1980s, manual take rate on performance cars in Europe was over 90%. In America, the 911 was the yuppie status symbol, and even yuppies learned to drive stick, because Porsche didn't really give them a choice. Then came 2008. Porsche launches PDK, a dual-clutch automatic that shifts in 8 milliseconds. 8. The manual takes you half a second on a good day. Overnight, the PDK was faster around every track on Earth. Faster 0 to 60, faster quarter mile, better fuel economy, better emissions. On paper, the manual was obsolete. But here's the thing about car enthusiasts. They don't care about paper. They revolted, loud, for years. So in 2016, Porsche threw them a bone. The 911R. 3-pedal only, limited production, 991 units. It sold out in hours, and flippers immediately listed them for $500,000, double MSRP. Porsche learned a lesson that day. The manual isn't about performance, it's about emotion. And emotion sells. So why are they killing it now? Porsche's public answer goes something like this. We'd love to keep the manual, but regulations. Euro 7 emissions standards. Corporate average fuel economy rules in the US. Fleet-wide CO2 targets that get stricter every year. The story is that manuals are slightly less efficient than PDK. Over the life of a fleet, that adds up. Regulators fine you per gram of CO2 over the target. So to stay compliant, automakers kill the outliers. And the manual is an outlier. It sounds reasonable. It's the kind of answer that ends interviews. Except it's mathematically nonsense. Manual transmissions are less than 8% of global 911 sales. 8%. On a car that itself is less than 1% of Porsche's total volume. The Cayenne and Macan SUVs outsell the 911 by nearly 4 to 1. And they were never available with a manual in the first place. You could delete the manual 911 tomorrow, and Porsche's fleet CO2 average would move by a rounding error. The math doesn't justify the decision. So what actually does?
I pulled the industry data, talked to dealers, read the internal analyst reports. There are 4 reasons, and only one of them is about the environment. Reason 1. Liability. Manual 911 GT3s have nearly 3 times the insurance claim rate of their PDK counterparts. 3 times. Because when you give a 6-figure rear-engine sports car with no traction nannies to someone who hasn't driven a stick since 2005, what do you think happens? Porsche doesn't eat those claims directly, but they eat the warranty, clutch replacements, flywheel damage, money shifts that grenade engines. Every one of those is a Porsche dealer ticket, and they add up. Reason 2. Margin. PDK is a $4,000 option on most Porsche models. The manual is free. Free is a problem because every manual sold is a PDK not sold. That's thousands of dollars in margin Porsche is leaving on the table every single unit. At roughly 8% of 911 volume, we're talking tens of millions of dollars per year in option revenue that the manual directly cannibalizes. Porsche is a public company now. Public companies do not leave tens of millions on the table because purists. Reason 3. The electric future. The 992.2 generation you're buying right now is the last pure internal combustion 911 platform. Full stop. The next generation, sometime around 2028, will be a hybrid. The one after that will be electric. Porsche has announced this publicly. every dollar spent tooling, certifying, and crash testing a manual variant is a dollar spent on a platform that's already on the sunset runway. You don't invest in R&D for a feature that won't exist in the next product generation. Reason 4. The dealers hate it. Manual 911s sit on dealer lots roughly 40% longer than PDK cars. Longer inventory equals higher floor plan financing costs. Dealers, the people who actually sell you the car, lobby Porsche North America constantly to reduce manual allocations. They'd rather move 5 PDKs than wait 6 months for the right stick shift buyer to walk in. So, liability up, margin down, platform ending, dealers complaining. You stack all 4 of those against 8% of volume from a vocal but small enthusiast segment, and the manual is dead. Not because of regulators, because of a spreadsheet. Here's where it gets interesting for anyone watching this who actually loves cars. The last manual Porsche, as of public roadmaps right now, is the 2027 911 GT3 Touring. That's it. After that production run, the 3-pedal 911 is over. Forever. Which means a specific thing is about to happen. The same thing that happened to the air-cooled 911 after 1998, to the naturally aspirated V8 M3 after 2013, to the manual Ferrari after 2012. Values of existing manual 911s, 996, 997, 991.1, and yes, 992.1, are about to go vertical. We've seen this movie before. Air-cooled 964s were $20,000 used cars in 2005. They're $300,000 collector cars now. Every time Porsche kills a feature, the last cars that had it become time capsules. Manuals are next. And it's not just Porsche. Zoom out. BMW already announced the next M3 will be automatic only in most markets. Audi killed the manual RS models years ago. Mercedes-AMG hasn't built a manual since 2015. The Corvette went auto-only with the C8. The GTR never had one. Lamborghini? Gone. Ferrari? Gone. Aston Martin? Gone. The mainstream manual performance car is now a short list. Toyota GR86, Subaru BRZ, Mazda Miata, and the last of the BMW M2s. 4 cars. That's what's left. The manual transmission didn't die because drivers stopped wanting it. It died because it stopped fitting on a spreadsheet. And that's the real story here. It's not about Porsche. It's about what happens when every car company becomes a public company. Every CFO becomes more powerful than every engineer, and every decision gets filtered through margin per unit instead of soul per mile. You're not watching the end of the Porsche manual. You're watching the end of an entire philosophy of building cars, where some features existed because they were good, not because they were profitable. So if you've got a manual sports car in your garage right now, hold it. Drive it. It's going to be worth more than you paid, in every sense of the word. And if you don't, the window is closing faster than Porsche wants you to know. I'm covering the car stories nobody else is telling every Friday on this channel. Next week, why Ferrari is being sued by its own customers, and why the lawsuit could blow up the entire exotic car market. Subscribe, turn on the bell. See you Friday.